Let's talk about EXO. I have thoughts, and I'm gonna start with the most honest one. I have not seen the last comeback. I haven't listened to it, not even one song. I avoided it, like openly and actively avoided it because it feels weird. It feels weird. Now, I wanna make something very clear. When you're a fan of something, that thing is just one thing of the many, many others. And I am absolutely a person that can go on with my life without these things hurting me. And the reason why I want to say this is because I do think it is important, especially when you're a fan of things like K-pop, but not only, when the whole parasocial relationship becomes really strong, it can hurt and it can be detrimental for your mental health. So, regardless of who the group is, regardless of things, please remember that it's not that important unless you give it that importance. We can talk about so many things, we can learn a lot, and something can be very helpful for you, but that doesn't mean it is everything. And I want to be very, very clear with that. I want to say this because, again, regardless of group, regardless of what it is the thing that you like, it's just something that you like. And, it's fine to sometimes learn to let it go. Am I letting go of EXO? I don't know. I don't know. I feel really weird with this whole situation happening. Listen, I had that company a lot. Like, I hate that company. It just so happens that the vast majority of the groups that I have liked in my life as a K-pop fan have been from them. It just so happens. That doesn't mean that I like that company. I think, like all of the others, they have strong points, but overall, they're a machine whose main point is to make money, and they tend to, because we have seen it, push their artists. And I don't agree with that. I'm not a fan of it. Whenever we have seen something like it makes me really uncomfortable to support that. And the reality is that whenever I buy an album or something that is official, like merch, you are supporting the company. And this is why I was saying that it can be connected with any other fandom. It becomes your choice whether you want to keep on doing it or not. For me personally, when things start to go south, I was like, I still can hope that for the comeback with all of the members after military service, we can have a nice group reunion. I knew already, of course, of the issues between the artist and the agency, but I was hoping that it would end up nicely because, to be honest, why wouldn't it? I mean, it's a great opportunity if you bring them all back. It's EXO, like that could go well. That could go well. Um, but sadly, that's not what happened. And in the moment that I saw it was not going to happen, I decided that I wasn't going to listen even to any of the songs of that comeback, which it's okay. Like, I'm not missing something. I still think that the guys are really talented. I still like all of the songs that I have listening to, and I still have my albums and I care for them, and I love my merch. I mean, I'm happy not only because I could buy it with my own money, so I feel proud, to have reached a level of economical freedom that allow me to buy these things. And that's a privilege at the end of the day. And for me also, the experience of EXO in my life was really, really important. I still get emotional, whenever there's a concert and they do play some songs. I get teary, I'm emotional. They still mean a lot to me, but not like this. So that's why I decided that I wasn't going to partake into any part of the comeback. We'll see, maybe in the future. I also want to be very clear, it's not necessary because I could listen to it without giving any money or anything to the company. I could do that. I'm not interested. Basically, that's my thing. Of course, I would love for the things to be settled and the group to come back. because OT9, the 9 and the my 9, and it just is just such a perfect number for EXO that 9 plus 2. Actually, I do have to say that I always felt like the guys retain a lot of that in the lives. I mean, I'm talking about Tao and Luan, and I really also appreciate the fact that they make a decision. That wasn't an easy one, absolutely not. But for them, it kind of pay off, and I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy that they were also able to develop in their own artistic things and also business like things. And I think that's really nice, and I'm really happy for them. So it's always going to be OT9 plus 2 in my heart. I mean, I still have those early albums with all of them, and whenever I'm watching an old concert and they appear, I'm happy. I'm happy to see them. And maybe one day, if things, if I don't know, that would be a very magical world that we live in which they could do a sort of meeting just to talk about. But I'm not saying it's impossible, mainly because I like to think that, again, they are adults and they are able to move on, and understand that it's just the business side that sadly sometimes poisons the other things. And yeah, I feel sad, of course, because this is not a happy video which I'm like, yeah, EXO is back and I'm so happy. EXO is, I wouldn't even say that EXO is back with this comeback. It felt like less than one of these tiny comebacks that they did between military service, because it feels so, I don't know, it feels weird, it feels out of place, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So again, that's one of the reasons why I decided not to deal with it. And now, of course, we need to talk about the whole ordeal with the boys, their own company, and how now that is a whole issue in its own. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I understand all of the intricacies of the situation. I do feel bad that for any artist out there, they don't feel like they are being fairly compensated. I sadly think that the capitalistic mindset really, really poisons so much stuff, and when people care more for themselves and they care just for money and things like that, it often leads to situations that are really, really uncomfortable to deal with, and they basically ruin the fun for everyone. That's it. That's it. Again, I don't know all of the details. We don't know all of the details, okay? And I think this is also very important to talk about in this whole ordeal with EXO. We don't know. And I'm saying this also because we need to talk about how the fandom has been talking about these things. There's so many people so quick to be like, oh yeah, leave those guys outside, who cares? Like, that was quick. The way in which some fans are ready to get on site and be like, well, we didn't need them anyway, well, we didn't need this person anyway, that's so rude, that's so mean, and so unnecessary. Check yourself, honestly. It's not that deep, and you can talk about things in a very honest way. We can discuss about it. But the moment in which I've seen so many of these comments, I'm like, oh, you already made up your mind, you already have your own thing in your head, and so we're not gonna start beefing on the internet for, it's like talking to a wall. I would rather talk to my wall than some people on the internet, because again, it's not a proactive interaction. And I think that it's really sad to see that some of the fandom reacted that way. Again, whichever side it is, it doesn't matter, because again, that's not necessary. uh, I would like to see OT9 back again, but just if they want to, and just if the artistry, it's compensated fairly, because that is also their job. They might love it and they might be good at it, which is great. It's a plus for us as fans. But at the end of the day, it's a job like any other, and it should be paid fairly. Again, that's for any job out there. It shouldn't be oh well, we'll pay you later, or it's like, oh well, it depends on how it. No. I don't play with that, because Also in the world that we live in, we don't talk enough about these things, the compensation aspect, and how much you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid, how much do you know how much you should be paid, and all of things like that. And that is how the system fucks up a lot of people, because we don't talk about it. The amount of people that I have listened to stories being like, oh yes, there was this person where I arrived at the job and he was there for a couple of years, no raise, no sort of trying to pay them more because they already knew quite a lot, none of it, and no one would talk about it, so they stayed in the same place for years. Come to find out, they would have liked to grow, but they weren't given the chance because, oh well, you didn't ask. You see how it is, you see how tricky it can be. So I would just say, let's take this as, okay, an understanding of what we can of the situation with the limited information that we have. Let's hope for the best, but let's take what's important for our own lives. So again, we can understand this whole deal in terms of being paid fairly for you in your own life and your own personal work, or if you haven't worked and you're going to soon or sooner or later start working, be aware of it. Talking about finances, talking about how much you get paid shouldn't be an issue. And if someone says that a company or whatever it is says you shouldn't, that's a huge red flag. That's a huge red flag. Your worth is, regardless of money, there's not an amount that we are worth as human beings, but the job that you do, your time and action that you do from 1 hour to another hour, doing a certain amount of things, doing whatever you have to do, that is worth an amount of money, and you should know that and you should be aware of it. Of course, every country is different, there's so many other things that we could talk about, but please remember that. Don't get fooled by the system, because the system is dying to just make clowns out of all of us. So that's important. Also, again, like I was saying beforehand, and again, I think it's really important, EXO, NCT, Red Velvet, TVXQ, Stray Kids, what else do I talk about? Oh gosh, NMIX, IVE, BTS, whichever group you want to talk about, groups that have that still exist, or groups that haven't exist yet, that they don't still exist anymore, sorry, or new groups, or whatever it is, whether it's K-pop, whether it is Japanese music, whether it is in English, whether it is from whatever place in the world, whether it's an artist, is a singer, or an actor, or any celebrity. Remember, there is a parasocial relationship there that you are the one who can give a lot of importance to it. And yes, some things can be helpful to go through sometimes, but that doesn't mean that it is everything. You are a human person with so many things that you can like, so many things that you can enjoy, and they can give you so much to your own personal life. So these relationships with these artists, it should be fun, it should help, it should give you some good and positive things, because most of the time it's entertainment, all right? And you can also cry because you get emotional, and it's beautiful how art can convey so many feelings regardless of the language, whether you understand it or not. And I think that's beautiful, and it's very human that we have this amazing ability, that there are some emotions that we just get. And so it's important, it's beautiful, it's lovely, but again, you are way more than the things that you like, okay? And so regardless of how this is going to end, in particular with EXO, because of course this video is mainly about EXO, everything's going to be okay. The memories that we made are still going to be there. How you find about EXO, what was the first comeback that made you a fan, your first album, and the photo card that you care for the most, if you have any of those, or just in general, something about them that make you happy. For me, it's so interesting because I have had the privilege of buying some of the albums, and I enjoy to having them because I enjoy to having the music, to kind of own the music in a way. Because it's music that I like and I care for, and that makes me feel things, and that made me feel so many good positive things during times in which I was struggling with so many other stuff. And so for me it's important. But also there's so many good positive memories that I have with EXO just by watching them do stuff. Like, for example, during a concert, all of the feelings that I get watching a concert are incredible, and how they perform, and for me how that performance and the music and all of it hit is just something that is going to be between me and them, and actually them in a sense of parasocial. Again, they don't know, they will never know, they probably have no idea that I exist. That's fine, because I don't care that they know if I exist or not. And so, for example, also some videos, some compilations of silly moments, and in particular, I don't know, those crack videos, there was a whole period in which there were so many on YouTube that would do about all sorts of groups and all moments. And the EXO ones, they would just hit different to me personally. It was such a personal thing that kind of developed between seeing the comebacks, but also seeing what they would push out, and when they would travel, but also when they would visit some TV show, and it was always so nice to see them. Also because they didn't do as many, I would say. Like, there's so many other groups that did so many, and they would go here and there, and they would try. EXO was always way more limited in the amount of things that they would produce. So it's, whenever something did came out, it was like, oh my gosh, let's watch it right out of the bat, even if I don't have the subtitles yet. And whenever a member goes live on Instagram, I always get a little bit of I always get excited. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and pretend that, oh, well, I'm over all of it. Absolutely not. But I do like to remind myself that you should be fun, and there is a limit, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not saying that I'm gonna leave EXO in that. I mean, I don't have a whole thing just for EXO. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that that's the case. But I do want to say that my approach is going to be way stronger than it used to be, and it is an active choice of mine. Everyone can make their own decision. I would like to, if I ever have the time, but who knows, to talk about some of the albums that I have, talk about why I like them, reminisce basically of all things. But about the new stuff, for the moment, for me personally, until we have a more of a clear of what's going to happen or not, I'm gonna not touch that. I'm not gonna deal with those things. My personal choice is to live in memory. Is to live with those memories and things that have been done already. The last year or so, we're not going to deal with those, but it's still fine, of course, if you choose to do so. And yeah, those are basically my thoughts in this whole ordeal in regards to EXO. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of this whole ordeal. Let me know what is going to be your plan of action when it comes to this. If you watch the comeback, and if you like that, it's fine. I mean, we can talk about it, of course. I won't have any opinions because I haven't watched. But yeah, I would like to know maybe what is the thing about EXO that you like the most, and what is the thing that you, whenever you feel bad or whenever you're feeling a bit down, what is the thing that you rewatch the most? What is the song or the video or whatever that is gonna hit that dopamine and is gonna help? Let me know, and in general, let me know your thoughts. In any case, I hope you have a nice day.